Does he see me?
I think he looked up, yeah,
He's got it.
there you go.
Okay, we're ready to go? Okay, good evening at 6 PM, April 27th, 2022. I'd like to open the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for this evening. I'd like to announce that this meeting is being televised live on local channel 18. So if we could all rise, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, next is, anybody have a public comment regarding anything not related to any agenda items tonight? If so, you can check in with Mary Ann right now, and you have 3 minutes to make a comment. Okay, no public comments, okay. All right, I'm going to ask for public comment on each hearing tonight at the end of that presentation. So 46 Little Neck Lane is scheduled as our first new hearing tonight, but at the request of the applicant, they will go second, and we will hear 186 Ninigret Ave first. So let's see, Bill and George are absent tonight, so sitting on the first hearing will be our our 4 regular board members as well as Brad. So Sharon, would you read the new hearing for 186 Ninigret, please?
186 Ninigret Avenue. Owners Michael and Christine Butera request a written finding under 174-17 of the zoning bylaws to allow for an addition, extension, and a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling on property located in R3 zoning district, map 65, parcel 91, Mashpee, Mass.
Hi. Good, good. Okay, if you'll just give us your names and addresses, and you have the floor.
Sure. My name is Christine Butera, and I am one of the owners of 186 Ninigret Ave in Mashpee.
And I'm Daniel McGrath. I am her builder. I'm from 312 Camp Street in West Yarmouth.
Okay. All right, if you would, tell us what you would like to do.
We are proposing to do a second floor addition, and basically staying within the original
Setback.
floor plan, except there is on one of the areas, we want to push the setback. So,
It's basically an extension of one wall. There's a bump out where the entrance is on one wall that needs to go
right here.
a little bit longer so that they can do a stairway to the second floor.
Okay, so as I'm looking at the plan, from the street, you're talking about the right-hand side of the
Right-hand
property?
side, there's an existing entranceway bump out kind of thing, and they need to extend that. That's actually the non-conforming
It's a
part.
little bit easier to see the house plans.
Let's pass this
That
down.
was the secret.
It's a little easier now, we have house plans.
There.
I missed it.
Got it. So you're staying within the same footprint?
The same General footprint, yeah. there's
except
just
for
extending it.
what's changing?
On the right-hand side, that little bump out's going to go back 4 feet and forward 4 feet, but it's not any closer to the property line.
Okay, so it says, I see outdoor rinse station. Is that there now, or is that proposed?
That's there now, the outdoor rinse station.
Right.
The proposed deck is what's getting bumped out? It says proposed deck behind the rinse station.
Now, see the gray area next to
That's
it?
getting bumped.
That gray area is all the new part.
What's
There-
this proposed deck?
That's going to be the
Just the
landing to get
entryway,
into the
the
house.
entryway and like the.
So
No.
that's all new, correct?
Yep.
Does that proposed deck entryway have, there's a second floor cantilever over the top of that,
No.
supported by that?
No.
So
No.
that's just an entryway?
Just an entryway.
Okay, thanks.
So the shaded area, right now, it's, this plot plan isn't very good. It doesn't show the existing. I don't know if you have the old existing.
Well, I think the shaded area is the new, in the.
Yeah, and.
But the
it
house
also
exists-
encompasses what was existing.
But the house is 9 foot 4 inches off the lot line today as exists, correct?
Yeah.
9 foot 4, and you're just bringing that distance back, so the 9 foot 4, you're not gonna get any closer to the lot line than the 9 foot 4.
We're going-
It's just, you're just gonna have more air, more room
Correct.
at that 9 foot
Yeah,
4.
so we're not increasing the
Non-conformity.
nonconformity. We're
You're just
making it,
taking it further back.
Correct.
But it's still 9 foot 4.
correct.
Well, I don't think that's entirely true, because the 9th floor goes to the house.
Yeah.
And the rinse station is there now.
Yeah, but the rinse station's just it's just a wall. It's like an outdoor shower. It's not a,
Is a rinse
you can't
station?
call it an outdoor shower. There's no roof, it's not a structure, it's just like a fence.
Are there walls? What are there?
It's like, so, like privacy, like just fencing, like it's just, but no roof. It's,
Yeah.
there's a shower with
It's
three.
not a outdoor shower.
Yeah, you're not allowed technically to have an outdoor shower, so.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know.
Have to be tied into septic.
soap.
But it's not a structure.
So,
my opinion.
our zoning enforcement officer, the setback would not be to the outdoor shower, or would it be? to
I
the
don't believe they usually are counted towards it.
Okay.
We don't
So
consider,
the
I don't say
setback
it's
would be the 9 foot 4?
more like a patio.
Okay. So
Like a fence.
neither the proposed deck or the outdoor shower would be considered setback,
Proposed deck is for
access.
required egress.
Entry.
Yeah, it's a land.
So you're
that's why I
allowed
asked if there's
to,
any
you're
roof.
allowed to
Yeah.
have 4 feet into them. So that's allowed as
So
well.
his setback is 9 foot 4 inches today,
Right.
and it looks like his
Going to
answer to his
5'5".
question, 9 foot 4 will carry the length of that
continuing
colored
it.
in area.
And they're continuing it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I'm looking at the proposed deck, and to the back, going towards the water, I guess. Looks like steps going down, is that correct?
No.
Right here.
Oh, yes, the
That's-
proposed deck, yes.
Okay.
So that,
So the deck's off the ground, is that correct?
just, it's like a couple feet off the ground there, just to bring it up to the level.
That's a street in the back. The 2 streets, John. The back, the.
Yeah, well, I think the
backyard's-
back one is a paper street, is that correct?
What was the, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is it Secaunet Drive?
That's what it was, and I
Right, there's really no, it's not a street.
It's a paper road, is that
It's a
correct?
paper road, yeah.
Yes.
I looked at the registry of deeds today on this, and the neighborhood had a bunch of roads that never got built.
Got it.
So they're still there, going through lots, but they're not there. And Secaunet was one of them. And they re-subdivided it, but the land court never officially
So it's
abandoned the
technically
roads.
still there.
So it's on paper, but it's not,
Got it.
some of them go right through houses.
Wow.
Bizarre, if you look back on it when it was done.
Really?
Lot coverage looks fine. There's nothing that, I don't think it's an issue. Chris, do you think it's an issue with the height? There's nothing on here saying what the height of the structure is. I don't think, from
yeah, I
looking,
don't
scaling
believe-
it doesn't look like it
I
is,
don't
but
believe so. I mean, from what I understand, I didn't see the building plans, but this is just the second floor, and you're
putting
doing
a
the
second
addition
floor
to
on? Is that what
to
this
put a
is?
stairway on, to get to the
Which will
second
raise the
floor.
roof.
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
look
of
at the,
course.
you can see the height of the structure. Just
Only a 7 pitch though. Oh, no, that's just for that. I wonder what the main looks like.
The 12 pitch.
Is it?
So
Or 10.
do you have any
that's a 10
idea what
inch.
the height is of the house when it's all said and done from average grade?
Yeah, no, the architect never did any heights on the plan.
It's a little tough.
I don't see that.
It's not, it's gonna be an average. It's not like we're going crazy. You've got
Okay, well, it looks like it's a fairly flat lot, even though it does go down.
Do you know what the height of the structure is off the top of foundation? I can't scale it on this, I don't have it, I have a reduced set.
I don't.
It looks like a real
I-
flat lot. Looks like it's 85
I
right
don't
across
think
the
it's
whole
an issue, I
lot.
just want
Yeah, I don't
to.
agree, yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
so 2 stories plus a
10
even
pitch.
a 10 pitch roof. I don't see it exceeding height.
yeah, no.
What are we,
it's not.
35 there?
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue, it'd be
Did
nice
you,
to have it.
would
on
you
there.
concur if it is a flat lot? Looks like 85 right
Yeah,
across.
I don't see the height being an issue.
Okay,
So maybe we can just put,
We can,
In the
we can
motion.
verify the height at the frame if you
yeah.
want.
Well, when they submit their plan,
motion.
you can make a motion, you can make a condition on that,
Yeah, we can do that.
instead of having to come out
So
and do a
it-
ridge height.
This will be conditioned that the height of the building is less than 35 feet.
From average grade.
Correct.
I don't think you have an issue, but
I don't think
it'd be
it'd be
nice
an
to
issue
see it
either.
on there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we
normally supposed to be
actually
on
asked
here.
the architect for that, but he,
If this was Pompanesett, I'd be like, nah, we really should check it, because it'd be 30.
Okay.
Lot coverage is noted, though, it's fine.
Okay.
He does have on here that maximum building height is 35 feet, but he doesn't say what it is.
We can handle this.
All right, what are we looking at here? Okay. Any other questions before we go to comments? Questions, concerns, anybody? Brad? No. Okay. Let's see, Charlie, would you like to read the comments?
Sure. All right, let me go to the Board of Health for 186 Ninigret Avenue. Board of Health comments, property is in Zone 2, so it is restricted to the existing permitted number of bedrooms, 2 per 2001 CP application. The proposed floor plans depict 2 bedrooms. It's the Board of Health, the Chris Gallagher Engineering. I have no engineering issues, I have no engineering issues with 186 Ninigret Avenue. That's Chris Gallagher, Wednesday, 4/27, 2022, 11:42, Mary Ann Romero. And Conservation, and I know I had something in there indicating that.
Any other
It says,
comments?
no permit is required, there's no expansion of the footprint. And there's, at least what I have, that's all I have as far as comments.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have any comments on this? Okay, seeing none, Ron, would you like to make a motion on this, 186 Ninigret?
I would. I'd like to make a motion that we issue a written finding to Christina Patera and Michael Patera of 186 Ninigret Ave, under section 174-17 of the zoning bylaw to allow for an addition, extension of a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling on property located in R3 zoning district, map 65, parcel 91, Mashpee, Mass, with the following conditions. 1, the board has determined that the applicant meets all the conditions of a written finding under Mass General Law 48, section 6. 2, existing condition plan with addition prepared for Christina Patera, 186 Ninigret Ave, prepared by Baxter and I Engineering and Surveying, sheet C1.1.0, date September 14, 2021, scale 1 inch equals 10 feet, drawn by SDM, checked by SMM, date 4/22/22, added house addition. Number 3, condition on all town department comments read in the record, including but not limited to the Board of Health comments. Number 4, condition that any change of the plans will require the applicant to return to the zoning board of appeals. Number 5, prior to the applicant applying for a building permit, she must submit to the building inspector proof that the building will not exceed the required maximum building height regulation.
Hey, do we have a second? Second. All right, Jim's going to second, so let's do a roll call vote. Brad, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jim?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
And Ron?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Well done, good luck. So we're all set.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Okay, so let's get all this stuff out. We need this stuff back. Lots of paper.
Did she say aye?
Sorry. What is it, 27?
Sign what Billy signs.
Have him come back and do all over it.
Wouldn't that be good? That's Brad. I get you.
Okay, so, let's see. All right, Scott and myself are stepping down in the next hearing, which is 46 Little Neck Lane. Ron will run the hearing, and sitting on the hearing will be our 2 regular board members, as well as Sharon, Charlie, and Brad. So Sharon, would you read the hearing for 46 Little Neck Lane?
46 Little Neck Lane. Petitioner Timothy Luff requests a variance under 174-33, setbacks from wetlands, of the zoning bylaws for a raise and replace of a single-family dwelling on property located within the New Seabury Special Permit Area, map 105, parcel 14, Mashpee, Mass. Owner of record, Julie Silva and Martin J. Riley.
So, Mr. Luff,
Good evening, how are you?
floor is yours.
Good to be here. So as was mentioned, we're seeking relief from 174-33. Just to give you the existing conditions, setback from wetlands is 15 feet, and the proposed will be 18 feet. So it's an improvement of 3 feet over what currently exists today. I've read the Board of Health, and we are fully understanding of what the Board of Health will want in terms of being able to get a demolition permit. We are reusing the existing septic system with some minor modifications that are on the plans and approved by the Board of Health. I guess the biggest takeaway here is that we have filed a notice of intent with the Conservation Committee, and we've worked very closely with Drew and the landscape architect to redevelop the plan to be a plan that was acceptable to the Conservation Committee, and trying to understand what we could do in the redevelopment and make sure that we did it to their liking. And that has been approved, and we have the order of conditions, so that is done. As was mentioned, we are in the special permit, but just for the record, even though we don't need to comply with lot coverage and the height restriction, we are improving the lot coverage over what exists today, and we will be at or below the 35 feet above average grade, even though we're not required to comply with either of those zoning bylaws because we're in the special permit. That is the basic presentation. I'm open for any questions and/or thoughts that you may have.
Would someone on the board like to read in the letters from various boards, committees, and people from our community?
Board of Health, 46 Little Neck Lane. The proposed raise and replace of the existing dwelling requires the following tasks to be completed: a septic inspection for the existing septic system, an asbestos inspection of the existing dwelling by a private licensed asbestos inspector with abatement if necessary, a rodent inspection by the Board of Health agent. The requirements shall be performed and submitted to the Board of Health prior to the issuance of the building permit. The existing septic permit states that a 4-bedroom septic is provided. The property is in Zone 2, so the dwelling is restricted to 4 bedrooms. The floor plans have not been provided. Okay, I have one from Conservation Department. It's dated Tuesday, the 26th. Hi, Mary Ann, 46 Little Neck Lane and Cayuga Ave have both been approved by the commission. I do not find anything on file for 186 Ninnegrit, which is within wetlands jurisdiction. Drew McManus. That's
To the town engineer.
you can do that if you'd like.
Yeah, I had, here's the,
I got it?
Engineering,
Yeah.
that's it.
I have no engineering issues with 46 Little Neck Lane.
So David, I have a question, if I may. We've read everything in the record. Am I correct to presume that the only thing that we're looking at is wetland setback, all other requirements, et cetera, this board has no jurisdiction over because there is an existing special permit issued to New Seabury?
That's exactly correct.
Okay, so the only thing we're,
Sorry, Ron, but I did have a meeting, we had a meeting prior to this filing, just to make sure that we had dotted our i's and crossed our t's, and so we were on the same page.
so the only thing, just, Charlie, if you choose to make a motion, if this board asks you to make a motion, the only thing we're dealing with then is the wetland setback.
Yeah.
And you had stated, sir, that you're at 18 feet, so you're looking for relief in the amount of 32 feet, is that correct?
Correct.
So that relieves Charlie is 32 feet if you choose to make a motion. All right, so if I could ask, David, you have anything?
I'm good.
Charlie?
I'm good.
Chris, I mean, you're good?
No, I'm good.
Ward?
Good.
Around, everybody else
nothing.
set? Wow, this is an easy one. You must have done a great job.
Well, I'm hoping one day, for the record, that this bylaw will no longer exist and we'll let everything be in conservation's jurisdiction, but
Well, we
until that
also,
time comes,
we
we'll be
hope
here.
that same thing, and we were gonna go to town meeting. Did we ever go to town meeting, or we didn't even get to town meeting?
No,
But
no,
we
yeah.
always felt that that was the right way to do it. Conservation knows more about wetlands than certainly we do.
Right.
But that's not the law.
But until
so-
then, we'll follow the path.
And we will oversee it the same way.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Charlie, if you'd like to make a motion, please.
I would like to make a motion.
Oh, sorry. Public comment, anyone? Seeing none? Okay, Charlie, sorry.
Okay, relative to 46 Little Neck Lane, petitioner Timothy Luff requests a variance under section 174-33 setbacks from wetlands of the zoning bylaws for a raise and replace of a single-family dwelling on property located within the New Seabury Special Permit area. Map 105, parcel 14, Mashpee, Mass. Owners of record Julie Silva and Martin J. Riley, with the following conditions. Number one, the board has determined that the applicant meets all the conditions of a variance under Mass General Laws 48, Section 10. 2, site plan, proposed house reconstruction, 46 Little Neck Lane, Mashpee, Mass. Scale 1 inch equals 10 feet. Date January 27, 2022. Drawn by RAR TJB, checked by TB, job number 21039. existing condition sheet 1 of 2, drawing number B28-53, stamped and signed by Thomas J. Bunker, Professional Land Surveyor, number 32653. Number 3, condition on all town department comments read into the record, including but not limited to all of the comments by the Board of Health and all the conditions set by the Board of Health. Number 4, the board issues a variance from the wetlands in the amount of 32 feet.
Correct.
5, condition that any changes to the plans will require the applicant to return to the Zoning Board of Appeals. And I think that covers everything.
Nice job. All right, so you got a second? All those in favor, want to start with Brad?
Yes.
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
And Ron, yes, so unanimous. Job well done.
Very good.
Enjoy.
Take care.
Have a great day.
You know,
Chris, you look like Charlie, that's why I said,
he doesn't look like Charlie.
I know.
You need new
I know, but I
glasses.
had to say something.
You need a new set of glasses.
That is true,
If that's an
actually.
insult to Charlie or not.
I wouldn't have said that.
Ron?
Yes. Oh.
Maybe he thinks you're as opinionated as Charlie.
Nice job crossing that.
So we have to
out.
differentiate.
Well
because
done.
Johnny's dog's name is Charlie.
Oh, but the real Charlie that we're talking about is very opinionated.
None of us are.
Charlie blows us
Yeah,
away.
but our Charlie is,
Charlie is very opinionated.
Is the architects over in Katuitt, the office over there?
Yeah. Makes it easy when in fact the only thing we're actually looking at is that one issue.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Cayuga.
All right, are the guys coming back? They must be talking.
Here you go, Mary Ann. Yep. We're out there talking to the applicant. Come on, guys.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get them.
We should just keep going with our, yeah, sorry, guys. What do you say, huh? What do you think we should do?
I can't do that.
Oh, come on. Tell them the meeting's over.
What's John and Scott live in New Seabury?
Motion for a close.
That would be good. Where are they?
They're talking to each other.
That's the architect. Under the same thing? The same developer? Oh, it's not that?
Jesus.
All done.
We were gonna go to the next one and just get that done while you were out there. Perfect.
I was hoping to take the last one.
There you go. All right, you sign all the papers, and
All done.
Wow, you guys are quick.
did you have him sign the
Everything's
done.
done.
plans, everything?
It's done.
Ron did a fantastic job.
It's awesome. That was an easy one. The only thing we look back is
Okay,
the
so
setback.
let's, no, that's trash.
He didn't have to say as one board
Actually, he said the
member.
only thing to look at is the setback. Observation approved. True.
I know what you said. I said,
That statement didn't come up.
This much to
All right, let me get organized here.
Understand why we're here, doesn't make sense. I get you, we tried it, but I couldn't get an issue.
Well, it's good to know down the future what others.
Yeah.
I like that name, Coyote.
Let's see, who's on that? Who's on the last?
It's an Indian name.
Charlie?
So it was Jim,
The streets
Charlie,
in that neighborhood are
Jim,
Indian.
Sharon, Brad, Charlie. Jim, Sharon, Brad, Charlie,
Well,
and me.
Bob gets to do one now.
okay. Sharon, would you read the next new hearing, please?
58 Cayuga Avenue. Owners Charles and Ellen Horn request a special permit under 174-17.1, raise and replace, and 174-33, setbacks from wetlands, of the zoning bylaws to allow for a raise and replace of a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling on property located in R3 zoning district, map 65, parcel 9, Mashpee, Mass.
Okay, I'm gonna have Bob sit on this one, taking Bill's place. Hi. Oh, and for the record, your name and address?
I am Attorney John McTurnan, and I represent my sister Ellen Horn and my brother-in-law Chuck Horn.
Excellent. Okay, let us know what you'd like to do. Let us know what you'd like to do. The floor is yours.
What we would like to do is get a raise and replace under 174-17-1 and a setback from wetlands under 174, section 33, to what is now a pre-existing three-bedroom, non-conforming in several respects. It's a smaller lot. It has a
Everybody have one?
14,000 square feet, where it is now in a 40,000 square foot zone. It has about 87 foot of frontage, and presently you require 150. Also, the setback from the wetlands is existing at 32 feet rather than 50 feet. The proposed structure is going to be essentially in the same place as the existing house, although it is larger. We will meet all the setbacks, the front and both side setbacks. The distance to the water will remain exactly as it is at 32 feet. The new structure will again be a three-bedroom, but it will be a new ranch-style home with a walkout basement. It will have a two-car garage and a driveway for adequate parking. We will upgrade the septic system, replace the D-box and the tank, and make it a gravity system versus the pump system that it is presently. It's also in an area where many cottages built in the 1950s have been either raised and replaced or substantially upgraded. Several, one right next door and one 2 doors down, and several on that street. So we think, this will be an increase in value not only for this lot, but for the area in general, for the lots around them. We've been to conservation. We have the orders of condition. I've seen the comments of the Board of Health, and they do have one minor change that we need to make. I think one of the dry wells is within 20 feet of the leaching field. It has to be moved 5 feet, but I've talked to the engineers, and they're able to accommodate that, so I think that won't be any problem.
Excellent.
Do we have any house plans?
Yeah, do you have any house plans? Good
I
question.
do have house plans. Where's my house plans?
Oh, yeah,
Sidewise, it looks good. Sidewise, it looks good.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna send it to you guys. Yeah, that's
We have one?
one copy, that's it?
The ranch.
Not too worried about height.
It actually has height, everything, it's all listed.
Well, yeah.
They're good.
Sorry?
We can share one,
that-
if the
yeah,
other guys want to
that's
see
fine,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, pass them around if you would. Bob, did you get one?
The Board of Health is questioning what, a bedroom issue?
Do we have floor plans on there? This doesn't have floor plans. This just has basement plans. That would have floor plans?
Oh, look at it, it's a walkout.
I think they have more than this
This
one.
one has floor plans.
You got floor plans?
Let's get four, that's 4 plans.
All right. This one does.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a ranch, so we only need one floor.
And give a copy to Bob at the end.
So, Board of Health,
No, I think we're good.
yeah, we'll take it now. Thank you.
So we have
floor plans to pictures.
Okay, so you don't need any variances.
No,
You're 15 feet on the, looks like the north side,
it's
and you're
15,
going down to 15 on the south side.
correct.
And you're, let's see, how far from the road?
40 feet, I believe.
They don't have a dimension?
Yeah, I see 40. Yeah, and the back is staying the same.
Yes.
Okay, is there gonna be any decks or anything like that?
Yeah, there are decks, and I have another plot plan that shows these areas better, the decks in the house, compared to the existing.
The decks are included in the lot coverage?
Yes, they are.
Uh-huh, this is good.
The lot coverage, I think, is
16?
16.
Yeah, proposed, so yeah, the decks aren't that big
And the
anyways.
height is not.
Yep.
35.
Thank you for having the height on this one. I noticed that right away. Oh, it's a wraparound deck, so it's different than the house deck.
Exactly what you said.
Oh, it's not a wrap oh, this is the existing, isn't it?
Oh, it's the existing house, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
giving you the wrong thing.
All right,
Oh, well, I'm looking at this, this is good.
oh,
Yeah, this is.
I got an existing one.
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah,
there's
take a
showing
look.
the
Take that
deck right there.
Okay, no, we're
Take a
good.
look at that.
No, now we're on the same page. Okay.
Oh, you got the right one.
He's got the right one, somehow I got that.
Okay.
No, we're good, I'm good. Thank you. I got nothing.
So how close are you, so you're looking for a wetland, relief from setback from wetlands in what amount?
18 feet, we,
So you are
32
32
feet?
feet, so you're
Yes,
looking
Your
for relief in the amount of 18?
that's correct.
There's a big drop here.
And I have may I ask a question?
This is the existing.
This is my pet peeve. So they show a 15-foot setback. Damn, well, it's like building in downtown Boston. What are they gonna do? Steel plate it?
You know, again,
That's gonna be a comment I'll be having.
there is, it's 15 on both sides. There's no room at all for.
Well, I think it's 15 and 16 or 17 or something, but
No,
even
it's-
still, there's no room on one side.
To me, what
Zero.
I'm
I
seeing
think
is
at the front corner, it's about 15.
15 on both
It
sides.
gets
That's what-
wider as it goes back.
Now, again, we go over this, that is their right, but they will, I will have to check this very hard, and if it does encroach, we're gonna have to make a determination whether it has come back.
So are you
to,
gonna stand there when this guy's pouring the forms and make sure the forms don't stretch? Oh, my God.
We're gonna have to pin it
if
for
I-
sure,
But
but
even pinning it won't work. If you pin the footing and the forms stretch, right, an inch, you're done. You're coming back, well, that's up to him, but you may be coming back to this board for a variance.
Yeah, if there's,
That's what the engineer says.
if it
Yeah, I
does encroach, there is no room for error. That's the point. So, we'll be looking at this pretty closely, more so than ever,
Good for you.
than regular, and,
I've never seen it come back for an inch.
and the as-built,
Good for you.
requirements
just
will
never
be
seen it happen.
involved.
Chris?
I'll let Chris talk
If I
about
might-
that.
Now, this is a question I had for Dave that I should have looked up. The original setback is 21.9 to the deck on the house. Is that what the building setback is from the wetland?
No, it's gonna be now, it's gonna be 32 feet to
No.
the wetlands with an
What is-
18-foot relief. That's what they're
Is the
looking for.
15, is the 50 foot from the wetland setback to the building itself or to the deck?
It's to the
Good
deck.
question.
So if
That's
it's
that
to the,
gentleman right there.
so if it's to the deck, which is what I kind of interpreted, he's actually going to 26 feet now is his closest point to the deck. So it's not 32 to the house, so now you're going 26, so you're going actually more than what you had. If he moves this thing an inch to the right, to the left, forward, he's not gonna comply to zoning, as you said, it's 15.0.
Well, they gotta pin it. They gotta
And
pin the footing and pin.
40.0. 40.0 is
hole
to
and
a
pin the
curve.
it was,
So the 40.0, they don't even show a dimension. There's a lot of things in this plan that are kind of missing, but if he moved it back 2 feet, It would give him room to play with.
Well, yeah, because the lot veers like this,
Veers like
right,
that.
so what it would do is give you side yard and front yard and rear yard. Well,
Yeah.
rear yard, we're giving him relief anyway.
And he'd still
So I
be
get your point.
24 feet from the wetland
I
when
get
it
your
was
Less
22.
chance of having a problem down the road.
Yeah.
So if he moved it back 2 feet, then, because this is, for the homeowner. Because I don't want you to get stuck having to come back and them saying, hey, I told you
The
so.
problem is, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Chairman, we've been told that if they're gonna change the plan, certainly to that degree, we probably should wait, but as one member, I think, and this is a pet peeve of mine, when applicants come in here and set something at minimum setbacks, I don't know how you build to that minimum setback like that, I just don't know. And so you're pinned in on 3 corners.
Yeah,
2 front corners and the front setback, and if you blow it by an inch, technically that engineer should be, that surveyor should say, nope, didn't make it. And I don't know what that gentleman would do. I'm not him, but that's a problem.
I wouldn't put my stamp on it. If it
So
didn't
that
make
being
it.
said, as one member, you certainly, as one member, you have a right to depict this plan. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna vote against it, that's not my point. But I am saying, though, as one member, that if it's 15 and 15, and the minimum setback and the whole thing, and you blow it by an inch, I may not vote for a variance, if you blow it.
But if they moved it back the 2 feet, it would give them the wiggle room, because it
It makes
veers
sense.
out five
Yeah.
degrees. And this is more to cover you, so you don't get in a situation where your form guy gets up there and he's pulling strings across bean poles that are an inch thick. And a lot of guys just pull their strings, old-fashioned drop a rock, and that's your corner.
Well,
That's his-
typically, no, because
But you pin it.
typically, 99% of the homes I build, we
Yeah,
pin
pin 'em.
before we put the footing in, they set their footings, once the footing's in, we go back and pin the footings. I've never had a problem with the wall shifting off the footing, because we have to go right, we get variances all the time, we have to go right to that point. Not on 3 sides, but usually on 1 or 2 sides, and we have to go exactly where it's gotta go. So it's up to the form guy to do it right, but.
I work at
Anything can
towns,
happen.
I won't come within like 3 inches of the setback. Because
Well, they
if
have
you
to
put the
make it-
concrete in, the form stretch, all of a sudden the bill inspector says you're off by 1/4 of an inch, you're out.
But the engineer that pins it is the same one that's gonna do the certified. If he pins it and they put it right where he says to do, he can't come back and say you put it in the wrong spot.
No, I know, but he puts a level on it, right, and he checks it for plumbing, he goes, see this is, it's the form stretch at the top, and it's out that 1/4 of an inch, so I can't certify it.
Well, I mean, I guess that could happen.
But I think,
gonna say-
it's up,
I've
as
now-
one member, I'm more than happy as one member to vote on this application, but I can tell you, I may not be very happy in reference to voting on a variance if you have to come back.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
I would suggest you might move it back 2 feet in the field.
Yeah.
And cover
My-
yourself.
What we
I mean, why be so
understood,
tight?
the setback from the wetland was to the house, not to the deck.
No, and that's
to the
where,
The structure.
Even if the deck is 10 feet high, it's not on the ground?
no.
No, it's still a structure.
Okay.
But you know what, sir, I don't see that as being, for me, as a big problem. Whether we've approved setback to wetlands 10 feet away, 12 feet away. If the Conservation Commission, again, I'm speaking for me, if Conservation has approved it, this is a resource setback. Has nothing to do with flooding or anything like that. I'm going where the Conservation goes most of the time, okay? But I am concerned, but I'm not saying I'm gonna vote against, but I am telling you, I'm being trite, that if you're gonna keep with this plan, okay, and you're showing 15-15 and minimum setback in the front, and you blow it and come back here for a variance, I'm not gonna be so sympathetic.
I mean, the thought if he
But
moved
we've
it,
already been to conservation, so if we move it 2 feet back,
it'd be minor.
it would be minus.
It almost would have
Well,
let
we
it.
can't, I don't know if we can't speak for conservation. I would think it would be minor, but that's up to them.
you explain
We will
why.
have as-built
Oh, no,
documentation.
I understand
So there
why.
is-
It
It's a very
delays
good
you, though.
point. I'm not, that's a very good thought. I think we didn't think we had room to move back, so we made it to the 40-foot line so that we'd stay as far away from John's Pond as we could.
Well, you may go back to conservation, or at least ask Drew, and he might say, listen, we don't want you moving it back, and you may have to come back to this board at that point and take what you
Hey,
get.
I
and give you-
tried. I couldn't do it.
And just say to your form guy, make sure your forms are tight and all this other stuff. Maybe pour an inch short or something, I don't know, but it's up to you.
From personal experience, Drew worked with me I actually am closer to the water, John's Pond, than I was with my original. I'm in the same boat right now. to conform with zoning. So Drew was very receptive to zoning laws.
Okay. Well, then I think you have a good point. I think we'd rather come back and see if we can move it back a couple of feet to give us a little room on the corners.
Would 1 foot make enough of a difference for,
It would, 2 would be much better.
Well, we're
The variance would
we're
have to get
about-
down to 24 feet from the wetland.
Yeah.
So you'd have to, because the way it is now, if they get a variance the way it sits, they can't move it back an inch, they can't move it forward an inch, they can't move it to the side an inch,
they're locked in?
they're locked in.
They're locked
If they
in, yeah.
don't get it perfectly square, they're whacked.
Yeah.
So there's other things with the plan I'd like to adjust. I could go through briefly to clean up the plan. So it would, I think it would be great if you could come back, and there's other things I could go through briefly, engineering-wise, that I think should be addressed on the plan. For instance, the lot coverage, I measured it out, and I don't think it included the deck, so I'd like to recheck that. It brought it up to close to 20, but it was under, maybe 19 and
So
change.
you're still fine, presumably.
The 2285, I scaled out the house, and that's what it came out to, 2285. The lot area includes the tie line along John's Pond, but there's some wetland there, so the lot area is actually a little smaller than what it has shown, the dry lot area. So the coverage, both of those factors influence the coverage.
Do you think that would reduce them to below, to above 20-foot lot?
It's close.
100%?
It's close.
So you gotta watch that, sir.
It's close, but
This
I think
board-
you might have.
As one member, and I can only speak, I tend to look at lot coverage and be very, very, very tough on lot coverage.
Most of the plans don't have a north arrow, which is good to have. There's no front yard setback dimension anywhere. It says it in the chart, but it doesn't show by scale, and you're set back to a curve. So where exactly on that curve does it hit the 40? Average existing grade's not shown, but I don't think it's an issue because the house isn't high. The drainage that Glenn Harrington
40's a
said,
lot
I
to
talked to
figure out.
him, you still need that catch basin in the driveway, but you're gonna have to pipe it to a drainage basin to get that 5 feet away. And let's see. What I'd suggest, when you get these ones where you're getting double the roof area, and I'd suggest this in general on these rebuilds, infiltrate your roof area. That's how DEP wants you to do it. They want all these infiltrated. So you end up putting in like a few Caltech chambers,
Exactly
something
right.
like that to infiltrate your roof, I think, going forward, because you're increasing runoff. And in this case, this thing's coming up, it's gonna be 10 feet higher than the neighbor's lot, because they're bringing in 8, 9 feet of fill for this. And so on the grading plan, it's, on one side, they have a swale with a catch basin, which works. On the south side, it's kind of a steep wall that goes, so I think
I don't.
gonna have to
Oh,
put
it's a
some sort of
ranch, it's not-
Yeah,
interceptor
we
trench.
were talking about this one story.
Oh, and it's on here.
Yeah.
Is it on
But I
there?
mean, there's a
It's on
few
this Height, yeah, 22 feet.
cleanup issues that if you're gonna
I don't know.
continue, I wouldn't mind
It's on
talking
this.
to your engineer,
Okay.
if that would be okay, and
I don't know where your 40 feet is, so.
it's
Oh, the
a lot
40
of
feet, I don't see
planned
it.
cleanup issues, and
Yep.
just drainage to protect the next door neighbor, because you're going 10 feet above, you know, you're
15 to
filling that in,
18 to 50.
your finished floor's 10 feet above
see this
his
line, I
lawn
don't
grade,
Are you left or right?
on left, on the south side.
Yep.
So you really kind of want to capture that water before it hits them. On the right side, you're doing it. On the left side, it's kind of just a steep 2.5 to 3 to 1 slope. But I think besides that, it's minor stuff. But like Ron said, it's nice to have the plan that's the final plan.
Could I make a recommendation? Mr. Chairman?
Please.
I would recommend meeting with the town engineer and just dealing with his issues.
Sure.
Going back to conservation, and that way, I'm hoping, I can't speak for them, that it's gonna be a minor modification. Then when you come back to this board, it sounds to me like the people that we listen to, these two gentlemen over here, are gonna be all set.
Chris, am I missing it? Where's the 40-foot setback from the street? I don't see it on the plan.
Doesn't show it.
Oh, okay.
So it's just in
On the
this,
right.
It just shows it in the chart.
No, that's not 40, that's not the
that's what's
40.
required.
That's 40-inch, the tree.
40-inch something else, that's not even the closest point to the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff missing on this plan.
Yeah.
yeah.
John?
Oh, the north arrow.
Sharon, go
I
ahead.
do have a clarifying question, and I don't need to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that. I am one, okay. But I thought there was a paper road going through this. Doesn't Seconic go through this property?
This one, it doesn't, it's just farther down.
Seconic goes around the whole pond,
Oh, it does the whole pond?
yeah.
Is this land courted land?
It is, so I can look back up at the land court. I looked at it for the other one. I didn't, Seconic didn't seem on the land
No,
court plan to go
Seconic
all the
starts
way.
at my house and goes all the way around the pond.
Okay, I'll look at that.
I think it shows the 40-foot on those colored plans that I gave.
I don't see it there either.
I'll sit with you or your engineer, and
Yeah, and
we can clean this stuff up.
Yeah.
It's nothing,
Because the house
too
is
major,
set
but-
right along the 40
Not on
foot.
this one.
It's on the color.
thinking
Not
here
on
on
that
through,
either.
we should be leaching a
This
roof.
one doesn't have any setbacks on it, side or anything, just has grades,
Yeah.
the lot.
Well, so would you like to ask for an extension, sir?
Yes, I would like to ask for an extension to this hearing.
2 weeks, a month, you tell me.
When's the next meeting? And
What's
again,
Weeks, I think, it's, you know, and if we need to go back to the board and get another hearing at Conservation, I'd notify Mary Ann, ask to extend that, but I think 2 weeks, if we can talk to Drew and that works out, that would be fine.
The next meeting is May 11th.
May 11th?
You comfortable with May 11th?
Yes. Are you, Chuck? Yes.
Okay. Ron, would you like to make a motion to continue to May 11th?
I would like to make a motion that we accept the applicant's applicant's request of Charlie and Ellen Horn of 58 Cayuga Ave, request of an extension for their special permit for their raise and replace and a variance, actually, variance for the setback from wetlands, right, on 174-33, until May 11th. I guess that's it.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Jim seconds. Bob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we'll see you on the 11th.
Okay, thank you for your ideas.
you want to
Yeah.
take my number,
There it is. I
I'm just
lost my
extension
agenda folder.
8550.
One more.
That's the way engineering and zoning board of appeals work together.
So Chris, you might want to put together a short list of what's missing off of the plot plan and everything so that the engineer that did this can add all that stuff in.
It's not minor stuff.
I have one here, but I'll make it neater.
So as long as they know. Super.
And again,
Okay,
this is
so
water
nothing to
protection.
sign.
Ended up with a violation.
This is all junk,
It just
All right,
max
let's
it
send this
everywhere.
back.
leftover junk.
A lot of paper tonight.
Yeah. a lot of
All right,
dead
good
trees.
luck.
A lot of dead trees.
I'd like to make a motion.
Hold on a second.
No,
Hold on,
we have an additional,
hold on.
We have an additional item?
Well, I have other business. I was gonna,
that's what I meant, the other business.
yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh,
Okay.
you making a motion for that?
I always make a motion for that.
Do you have the information about the other business we need to do tonight?
Oh, not the minutes?
No.
No, I don't have that information.
Okay, we do have other business tonight.
Oh, okay.
That's not on the sheet. And the other business is, we need to sign the signature sheet for 42 Spoondrift, which we never did.
Why didn't we do it?
No.
But because it
Was it a Zoom meeting?
the
Zoom,
board
was it?
withdrew the variance on 42 Spoon Bridge,
Gotcha.
and I agreed to it. And I have to submit this to the attorney, so he has
Do you remember who sat on it?
Did he appeal?
the regular,
Where-
excuse me, regular 5. But,
Bill's not here, so.
yeah. I'll have to have Bill come in and sign it.
Don't sign on Bill's line.
Right.
42 Spooner.
Did we all,
Did we all vote in
You
favor?
all voted in
Chris,
favor.
there is a paper road over there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Those continues around?
Yeah.
That neighborhood. when I
I'm in
looked
it.
up- When I looked it up, the land court and the registry today, it's got all these paper streets that used to exist.
Well, that's Henry LeBute.
Well, how the heck's he gonna put a house on that lot without a paper street going through it? I
It's
mean, I may have
weird,
rights
like,
to that at Southport.
the court,
You may have rights to it.
I read the court decision from
yeah.
That wasn't very good.
1954.
Well, I'm serious.
And he basically left all these paper streets that are going right through
Well,
houses
Ron
and
knows
through
all about
lots.
Henry LeBute.
I know him very well. My point is, though, is I don't think there's any title company in the world that's got a certified title over that unless you get them removed.
And the land court letter specifically said, because the streets that exist now for the new land court plan, there was other streets that preceded that is still shown. I'll make copies and bring it in, but,
Oh, I've seen it.
and they're going through houses and everything like it.
Oh, I've seen
But
it.
the land court engineer wrote that these streets still exist and are subject to rights of others because they haven't been abandoned by the court.
Wow.
And he specifically mentioned the one that goes along the water,
Caillou,
which he
what
said
is
a
it?
lot of it's underwater,
Secana?
Seconded.
the corner.
He's never gonna get a
It was
mortgage on
interesting.
that. He's got a lot of cash.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Oh,
Okay,
I don't know if subsequently they did something, but I didn't see
Now,
anything.
Seconded's, two Seconded's is across the street from me, or the cove, and then it goes all the way around the pond until it hits Henry LeBute's house.
It stops.
When were they created?
Um,
How long ago?
He started subdividing in World War I after
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
40s, 50s. I had a lot of them in Southport. We had to do away with them. We went to land court.
Well, I
They did a
used-
plan up, and it's a process, but you can get it done.
I know, I used
Yeah,
to
the
play
new-
German
the-
patrols in
The
there.
newest land court plan was around 1950 to 54, but there was a preceding one, like you said, that must have been World War
Well, I mean,
I.
if somebody claims rights to them and says, I want rights of passage over it, then you have a problem.
Well,
And then,
the-
you know, so
in the
that's why no one
50s
wants to insure over
I
it.
think in the 50s, Henry Senior passed on to Henry Junior. That's probably when that happened.
I'll send just the land court letter. It was interesting. And the plans, they were
All right, Sharon, would you like to make a motion on the minutes?
I'd like to make an motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 13th, 2022.
I will second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Was I here?
Yeah, maybe you were.
All right. I may have missed one. I was-
Sharon, you want to make a motion to close?
Oh, another one. Oh, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.